Hello everybody, Jacob here, and I think murder is fun.
FBI, open up!
Okay, calm down, Mr. FBI. I'm not talking about real murder. No, I'm talking about video games. More specifically, stealth games. Jesus, I feel like a conservative mom from the 90s. Video games are murder simulators. Well, yeah, my favorite ones are, and they're awesome. I was recently playing Hitman 3, right? And it got me thinking about my favorite game series. And weirdly enough, most of them are stealthy stab-em-ups, okay? Here's my top 5 favorite game series, right? The Dishonored series, the Hitman series, the Assassin's Creed series, Ghost of Tsushima, that one's not a series, but it's still a good game, and the Paradox Grand Strategy game series. To be fair, Paradox Grand Strategy is not a stealthy stab-em-up murder game, but it does have a lot of killing in it, like a weird amount of killing for a grand strategy game, right? It got me thinking, it got the gears going in my brain, thinking about, why are these games fun? Why do I enjoy stealth-em-up stabby games? Am I a sociopath? Maybe. Let's go to the animation bubble to find out. Recently, I've been playing Hitman 3 on the PS5. By the way, getting a PS5 was harder than any mission in Hitman. To get the PS5, I had to Agent 47 style break into a GameStop and dress up like one of their employees. They never saw it coming, and I took the PS5, despite the fact that I had a barcode on the back of my head, so, what does that tell you about GameStop? Overall, I love the game. I even forked over an extra $30 to get the whole trilogy, despite the fact that I already had Hitman 2 and 1 on the PC. Why? Because I'm a slave to capitalism, and I worship the almighty dollar. Also, I wanted to see the old levels in shiny new next gen. And the new Hitman series is a fantastic stealth game with huge open-ended levels, multiple ways to eliminate targets, and almost infinite replayability. You can even come up with unique challenges for yourself, like killing all of your targets with a knife dressed like a clown, a move I like to call Bozo's Mental Breakdown. It's a great series, and I highly recommend it. By the way, this is a definitive Hitman map tier list, and no, I am not open to any suggestions. The Hitman series actually reminds me of another great super replayable stealth series, Dishonored. That was the segue. Haha. Dishonored is a stealthy assassination game set in a dark steampunk world with huge open-ended levels. Coincidentally, it's also one of my favorite games of all time. I love stealth games like Dishonored and Hitman because getting into an impenetrable fortress, assassinating a target, then disappearing without ever being seen is such a fun challenge. I view stealth games similar to puzzle games. Stealth games are just metal puzzle games with more murder. Memorizing guard patterns, secret paths, and hidden places are just part of figuring out a giant puzzle. It's like solving a Rubik's Cube with knives. You get the gist. These games are especially fun if you try to go for a ghost run, restarting every time you get spotted. It's like an adrenaline-filled murder hide-and-seek, or cat and mouse. Now, some may say doing these personal ghost challenges is a colossal waste of time with no tangible benefit. Yeah? So, why am I talking about Hitman 3, Dishonored, and other fantastic, well-crafted, stealthy assassination games? Well, because this was all a big trick, and I fooled all of you. The rest of this video is actually going to be about the direction of the Assassin's Creed series, and you're going to listen to a fanboy like me rant about the series. No, please though, actually stick around. It's gonna be quite entertaining, and it all relates back to everything. I promise. Let's go to the animation. Come on, let's do it. I've played every single Assassin's Creed game, even Chronicles and Liberation. They range from great to mediocre. Recently, Ubisoft released Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a pretty good Assassin's Creed game that's great to look at and fun to play, but it also made me a little bit sad. If back in 2012 I said, what direction do you think the Assassin's Creed games will take in the future, what would you say? My best guess is you'd say a game inspired by Hitman's level design with some cool assassinations and a few action set pieces. And you'd be right. They went that direction with AC Unity, a game that released in such a broken state that it single-handedly killed that direction for the series. It's a shame too, because returning to Assassin's Creed Unity years later, it's the best example of what an Assassin's Creed game should be. Huge cities filled with large crowds, open-ended assassination missions with unique kills, stealthy political intrigue, and great parkour. I mean, think of the game series that Assassin's Creed would be if Unity had like 2 more years of polish. Makes me sad. Now the direction of the Assassin's Creed series is this weird Witcher-like thing filled with loot boxes, bland side missions, and only the occasional mention of assassins or Templars to get fans like me to cream our pants. This series has now become another Ubisoft open-world action game, with stealth elements, like Watch Dogs or The Division or any of the other ones, just pick one. Why? Probably because it's more profitable. Maybe the enemy isn't Assassin's Creed. Maybe it's corporations. This isn't to say that the new games are bad. They're not. They're fine. AC Origins was good. Valhalla is good. Don't talk to me about Odyssey, a game that has nothing to do with anything and is barely an Assassin's Creed game. It's also cringe as fuck, by the way.
'Cause I Testicles!
And Valhalla had some really good elements, like huge cities and the re-implementation of social stealth, but it's still much more of an action RPG than a stealthy Assassin's Creed game. I mean, think about how far the game series has fallen when you have articles about how the next Assassin's Creed game should have a protagonist who's an assassin in a game called Assassin's Creed. That's like if Cooking Mama became a racing game and you had articles saying Cooking Mama should really feature a protagonist who knows how to fucking cook. But for all my Assassin's Creed fans out there, don't worry, because recently, over the summer, I played the best Assassin's Creed game I've ever played. Its name? Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, but before we get into that, I do want to say, if you made it this far in the video, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel, because my YouTube channel is actually a lot like a stealth game protagonist. It's almost undetectable, but you can change that by hitting the subscribe button and sharing it with your friends. Okay, that was enough of me self-advertising. Let's get to the animation bubble, where I explain why Ghost of Tsushima is the best Assassin's Creed game never made. Ghost of Tsushima is a game that was released last year by Sucker Punch. It's fantastic. It follows a samurai that has to fight against the Mongolian invasion of Japan. It's beautiful, its combat is flashy, and its stealth is amazing. The game is without a doubt the best Assassin's Creed game I've ever played, and I think Ubisoft should study it for how to make a good, actual Assassin's Creed game in the future. The game's combat is flashy and stylish, and it legit reminds me of the old Assassin's Creed trailers. Not to mention, it feels great. The stealth is another thing that works extremely well. The game makes you feel like a feared folk legend, and when terrified Mongols react to you as the ghost by dropping their swords and running, it adds so much to the mood of the game. Ghost of Tsushima is what I wanted the Assassin's Creed series to be, a really flashy historical game with smooth combat but also a heavy focus on stealth and historical immersion. Even the story is a good Assassin's Creed story. It's about a samurai who has inner conflict between his honor and doing what it takes to survive. Now that right there, that's an assassin arc. If I had to pick an assassin arc out of thin air, it would be Ghost of Tsushima. Now imagine if an Assassin's Creed game released every 3 to 4 years and they were like Ghost of Tsushima. Oh my god, the series would be light years better than it is today. Seriously, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan like me who feels saddened about the direction of the series, then play Ghost of Tsushima. You won't regret it. The point is, can you imagine an Assassin's Creed game that focused on stealth, historical immersion, and Hitman/Dishonored-like level design? It would be amazing. It would be fantastic. It would be Ghost of Tsushima. So that's the video. That's why I think stealth games are my favorite genre, and also which direction I think the Assassin's Creed series should go. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you like the video? Do you agree with my assessment of the Assassin's Creed series? What direction do you think it should go in? Also, I'm gonna leave you with this fun tip, right? Hitman 3 is actually the best Assassin's Creed game in modern times if you imagine that Agent 47 is an assassin and all the people you're assassinating impersonating our Templars. Alright, that was the video, and if you liked it, make sure to subscribe. I try to make at least 2 videos a month, give or take, you know, full-time college student, so that can put a little bit of a damper on things, you know? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you liked the video. See you next time. I've been Jacob.